Hey everybody, welcome back to Michael Clarida Arts. Welcome back to the studio here in 2026. It is time once again for a warm-up drawing. It is of course 2026 and coming into the new year. Creating good habits is something that I always like to do, not only in my drawing and my studio aspect, but also my professional life, and doing a warm-up drawing is essential for the day's preparation. I'm excited for 2026, lots of really cool things happening, but let's go ahead and get started drawing some baby rhinoceroses, baby rhinos. Let's get started. All right, so excited this morning, drawing on my Strathmore toned sketchbook paper. Nothing fancy, I'm at my standing desk. We're gonna do some baby rhinoceroses this morning, just because I like baby rhinoceroses. You guys ever have something that you really just like and you want to do more of? Baby rhinos are kind of my jam. I love baby rhinos. And the more and more I draw animals, the more I realize how much they are like us. There's a documentary, a couple documentaries, I think it's on Disney Plus. Those of you that have Disney Plus, says animals are just like us. I think in some aspects they are. They want to provide for their family. They want to have peace in their lives and definitely adhere to that philosophy of trying to stay afloat. And the more and more I watch documentaries, the more I realize that we are indeed alike. What I'm doing now is again start out with my simple shape, go in and put some anchor points in so I can kind of shoot off, compare and contrast where things are in terms of anatomy. There's nothing wrong with starting in one place, moving around, not getting mired down in the details too quickly. That's important. And also start figuring out those anatomical references: eyes, legs, head, sizing, stuff like that. And baby rhinos are just beautiful. Again, I watch a lot of documentaries, not just for the entertainment value, but also it gives me an understanding of animals. And me being an animal illustrator, again, it's something that I need to continually build layer upon layer upon layer of wisdom. That is something that you don't hear a lot of. Wisdom involves something called experience, and experience cannot be quote-unquote faked. We, as human beings, in general, kind of view, in my opinion, the elderly as weak, and in some respects, weak in body, but strong in mind. Of course, depending on their mental acuity. I've got a relative that is going through some dementia challenges right now, and of course that in combination with physical things creates what we would deem as weak. And my dad, who is 91, still has all of his mental faculties within reason. I mean, he's a little slower, but he is super wise about life, about engineering. He's super smart. And of course, whenever you see a parent or someone that you know is close decline in that capacity, it is a challenge. But we as human beings should probably change our perspective with regards to wisdom. Wisdom cannot be faked. It involves a high degree of experience. And that's why whenever I find somebody that knows a lot more than me, which is pretty much the majority of people that I run into, I definitely want to pick their brains. See how they got to where they are. Emulate what they did for success and know that everybody has a different path. And that I'll be able to take some of what they did, some of what this person did, some of what this person did, mash it all together, and have the experience of my own. Be able to pass that on to my children and my children's children and create that legacy. Legacy is not always about money. And honestly, it's that old proverb, you can give a man a fish or teach a man to fish. And ultimately, I want to learn how to fish. I want to learn how to fish, I want to learn how to draw, I want to learn how to create and fix and do all those things. And that's why I created this channel, to pass on some of that knowledge that I have accumulated through the years and years of being an artist in the professional market. So hopefully you guys are getting something. I hope. Yeah, so this particular rhino is laying down. A challenging pose for sure, because it is foreshortened, head in the front, body in the back. You've got to layer those forms on top of each other. So if you watched, initially I started out with a head, and then I drew a larger form for the body. And then I just started adding those anatomical references. And that's basically drawing. It's making small decisions and building. And noticing it's not just about quote-unquote correctness. Because I've seen many correct drawings as it applies to anatomy, but the drawing ends up being lifeless. And ultimately, if I wanted a picture, I would take a picture. You want to have some type of story that goes along with what you're doing, because ultimately that is what's going to make your drawing more appealing, not only in your eye, but in the eyes of those who are viewing your artwork. I never like hearing the phrase, that drawing is wrong. And I think that as you progress through your journey, you'll understand why I'm saying that, because I could put this ear on the side here and you would say that's wrong. Well, in the context of trying to make a baby rhino accurate, then yes, that would be wrong. However, in the context of making artwork, that is my decision. And being the artist, it is an expression of my will. Experiences, stuff like that. So, not to try and get existential on this wonderful winter morning, which is not really winter. It's kind of weird here in the mountains right now. I believe we're going to be in the 60s. I don't think I've ever seen 60s in the month of January in the mountains of Appalachia. Usually it's in the 20s. 20s for the high in January. So, yeah, it is a different time up here. If you're interested in coming up to the mountains of Appalachia, definitely encourage you to do so. It is beautiful here. There's a lot of opportunity for hiking, biking, backpacking. We've got the Appalachian Trail here. This is the end of the Appalachian Trail from up north, or you could argue that it is indeed the beginning. But we get a lot of people that come and start in the springtime and they go north. We get a lot of hikers and stuff, but it is beautiful here. We got a lot of beautiful waterfalls, and we've got the Tallulah Gorge, which is huge. It's beautiful. Again, a beautiful place that I live, and I will be doing some exploring for you guys and taking you along. I think you would really enjoy it, going out and seeing the mountains. Maybe do some on-location drawing. That would be fun, wouldn't it? What I'm doing right now is just putting a little bit of value in, still shoring up some of those anatomical references. Here, comes here, a little bit lower. Nostrils a little bit lower. The grass. Yeah. Hopefully everybody had a really good holiday. Christmas, of course. Or whatever you celebrate during this time of year. It's up to you. Or to not celebrate at all. But it is a holiday nonetheless for a large portion of humanity, and I definitely took part in it. Rhinos are really interesting because there's a lot of things going on with this particular creature. From the bulk and size, they can weigh as much as 5,000 pounds, which is basically the weight of my Jeep. Thinking, oh my gosh, 5,000 pounds. And they're very nearsighted, so they get startled easily, and they will charge. They will charge things that they don't recognize or feel as a threat. So if anybody's ever been on safari, which I will end up going on safari sometime in my life, and I'm not talking about the Disney safari. I've been on the Disney safari. That thing was cool. It was, but I'm talking a real safari where you see animals in the wild, and your life is generally a small hint of danger there. And they see a tree that's off in the distance, and it's a very large object, and the rhino will charge it. You're like, wait a minute. Are they stupid? No, they're just extremely nearsighted. And then whenever they get up close to it, they're like, oh, that's a tree. Yeah, you need to chill out, bro. You chill out. So, go ahead and draw here. Yeah, he's kind of laying down. Gotta do this. A little bit of foliage here and there. You don't have to draw all the foliage, and I've mentioned this before, especially when I was referring to not only drawing fur, but also foliage. Foliage is one of those things that I think we try and overdo. And a lot of times it's okay not to draw everything. Sometimes just a simple indication of what it is enough. Like here, so I'm going to come here. And we're just going to draw a little simple indication of what stuff is. Yeah. Do a little bit of shading right here. Got some wrinkles. He needs some moisturizers. He needs some creams. I need some creams on him. Yeah. Creams. Yeah, up here in the mountains it gets really dry. Oh my gosh, humidity at 25%. You gotta realize, you get humidity at 25%, your skin's gonna dry out. You ain't gonna have to stand in water. You're in a forest. You gotta watch out for forest fires. Oh, we're going to sharpen the pencil. I thought I was. My wife came in and broke my pencil. She's standing here, and she pick something up and my pencil goes flying. Snap. That's another thing with woodless pencils. They break really easily. Like whenever you're drawing, let's say you're drawing and it's got the full Monty here, and you're drawing and you're pushing hard, bam, you can break the pencil quite easily. So even though I like these Koh-i-Noor Progresso woodless pencils, that is a negative. Okay. So now you can see laying down, he's just like, yeah, this is my best life. I'm living my best life. One of the creatures that really astonishes me continually as I watched more than one or two documentaries about it is the hippopotamus. And we will get to hippopotamuses in this series of drawing. They kill more humans, and they're vegetarians. They're vegetarians. I want you to wrap your head around that. It's because they're so territorial. They kill more human beings than all other animals in Africa combined. That's lions and tigers and, as I say up here in Appalachian, lawns. That's one syllable. Lawns. They do talk like that. Okay, a little bit of shading. And a little bit of foliage coming around as it comes down. Again, you don't have to draw every single piece of grass. I want that contrast between these two. That's why I didn't go in and render this, because you would have a competition. And I did want things kind of leaning this direction, so I had a little bit more rendering here. Again, putting this negative space to work for you is important. Again, that acts as a barrier to kind of push your eye northward. Come around here. Yeah, okay. A little bit of here and there. Come around. Mouth. Living his best life. Okay, let's get on to the next baby rhinoceros. Alright, let's get to the next one. Well, something that inadvertently happens, and I even talked about this a little bit, is the fact that mistakes happen. I thought I'd pressed record, and I did not. My apologies. Don't really have a ton of time to do another drawing, but this is the way it turned out. Did you like it? Oh, yeah. My apologies. But we do have the other one right here. Yeah. It's two drawings. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Definitely like and subscribe if you like what you see, please. Go on and do something fun today. It is 2026. And like I said in the video that was not recording, words of wisdom. If you want something you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. Go on and do something you've never done. Don't rob a bank. That's illegal. Don't smoke crack. That's unpleasant. Small changes equal big results. Wisdom. I'll drop a wisdom bomb on you. Bam! All right, guys. We'll see you next time.